Hey, good morning. Chris here with Jarvis Outdoors. Just finishing up winterizing our camper, and I wanted to do a quick video this morning on two things that I feel are pretty overlooked when people winterize their camper. I'm not going to do a whole winterization video. There's a ton of those out there on YouTube. So I just wanted to hit these two quick points. So we're just finishing up, and what my setup here is I have a pickup hose that goes into my winterization port. And then also what I have is a pump, a utility pump. Mine happens to be 120 volts, but you could use any kind of utility pump, 12 volt, small sub pump, even a hand pump. They make hand pumps that you can do this with. So the first thing that I thought is really, or think that is really overlooked, is the black tank flush. So in this particular unit, the black tank flush disappears into the inside of the camper, which is good. It's insulated, it can be warm in there, but then it quickly dives down and goes through the bottom, through the floor, and disappears into the belly of this unit. So this camper does have a full belly enclosure. However, it's not insulated. It's not a wintertime, camper. So that black tank flush line, I cannot see how it's routed through the belly of this camper. So where I see this being an issue is friends of ours also have a hybrid camper. It's a Shamrock, I believe by Flagstaff, and you can clearly see their black tank flush line. It goes in, drops down, and has a big U, like almost like a belly in it, that would hold water before it connects into their black tank. So that is a perfect area to have a freezing and cracking problem in that pipe. So what we do, I've already winterized the rest of the camper utilizing the Antifreeze inlet. It sucks right up using the 12 volt pump in the camper, the 12 volt water pump. So now what I'm going to do is I got a couple gallons of the RV Antifreeze in this bucket, and then I'm going to go ahead and plug in my 120 volt pump, and I'm going to pump for a few seconds. Doesn't have to be long. It's not a very big line. It's not going very far. Just going to pump some antifreeze into or through the black tank flush line. That way we don't have to worry about any dips or anything like that. And then the water freezing and cracking throughout the winter. So like I said, I got 2 gallons of the RV antifreeze already in the bucket. I'm just going to go ahead and plug it up. Count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's more than enough to get through that little line. So the next thing, I'll take you inside and I'll show you. Hey, so we're inside the camper now, and I wanted to go over the second thing that I believe could be potentially overlooked when winterizing your camper. Like I said, we've already winterized this camper, but there's one more thing that we have to do. We went ahead and we got our black tank flush line, and now we're going to winterize the shower miser. Now, I don't know how many manufacturers are utilizing the shower miser. It's a fairly new device. And what it does is it allows you to conserve water when you're dry camping. So when you're operating on your 60 gallons of fresh water and you're out, boondocking it, dry camping, what have you, when you go to take a shower and you first turn the water on to get warm water from your hot water tank, it may take 10, 15, 20 seconds for that water to get here and allow you to adjust to your desired water temperature. So that's 10, 15, 20 seconds of water going down the drain into your gray tank. And a couple people taking a shower throughout a camping trip, every day, every couple days, however you do it, that's wasting water. So and when you're on that limited capacity, you want to conserve as much water as possible. And that's what the shower miser does. And the way it works, you just flip it on, and then you turn your valves on, and the water will recirculate through a line back into your freshwater tank. So we only used it once this year when we were dry camping at a friend's for a party. But there now, because we've used it, there is a potential for water to be in that hose, and that hose comes from the shower miser, goes down the back wall of the shower, disappears through the floor and into our belly of our camper, and then is routed over to the freshwater tank. Now, as I said outside, our bottom of our camper is fully enclosed with a belly pan, so we can't see how that line is routed or run. So there's a potential for it to have a dip or a belly in that line, which would hold water. So I want to winterize that. We don't want to have that freeze and crack throughout the winter, and then next season when we go to camp, we have a broken pipe. So how I do it, I have my bucket outside with my pickup tube that comes into my winterization port. I have about 2 gallons of antifreeze in that port. We don't need it, but we don't need that much, I should say, but I used it to also do the black tank flush line. So my 12-volt pump is on. I turn my shower miser on, so the water is going to be routed through the shower miser and not come out the shower head. So I'm going to turn my hot water line on and my cold water line on, or valves I should say, and I'm going to wait a few seconds. And it's not a very big line, it's only running about 10 feet. So now I can turn it off, turn my shower miser back off. I'm back to normal operation for next season. Now, I know a few of you are going to say, well, you just put some RV antifreeze in your freshwater tank. And yes, I did. But it's very minimal. It's a small line. It's running very short. So I didn't do it for very long. But the small amount of antifreeze that went in that tank will easily be flushed out. And I would rather take a few seconds or a few minutes to have to flush that out than to have a line crack and freeze and then we got to drop the belly pan. So now I know not every camper is going to have a shower miser, and not every camper is going to have a black tank flush line. I know a lot of the newer campers, a lot of the bigger campers, all have the black tank flush line, and we utilize ours all the time. Every time we flush that we can hook up, or dump that we hook up to a dump station, I'm flushing that thing out. It keeps our tank nice. We don't have any issues. So it's really easy. It doesn't take a lot of time. So definitely want to protect that line from cracking. Like I said, if it cracks, it's going to be, with this particular unit, it's going to be a big ordeal to replace that, because we're going to have to drop the belly pan off this thing to do it. So a few seconds, it's cheap insurance to make sure we don't have any issues down the line. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and hit the little notification bell if you'd like to be notified when we upload new content. Also, you can follow along and check out our latest updates on Instagram at Jarvis_outdoors, or you can follow along on our website. Check us out there at jarvisoutdoors.com. We really appreciate you watching. We keep trying to bring you new and better content, so we'll keep plugging along here. So thanks for watching.